I hired 7 of the best Amazon agencies in the world, big names, mid-sized shops, and then these solo operators. You'd actually recognize them. I paid all of them. Not one of them was able to grow my brand. Genuinely great people, meant well, but could not grow my brand. So I fired every single one of them. And what's crazy is I took it on and grew 450% in 90 days by myself. And here's the part that's gonna bug you. It had nothing to do with spending more ads. The brand's Vita5, the gummy brand that I built to 20,000 points of distribution and then later sold it to a multi-billion-dollar company. And here's the thing about me, I'm literally holding nothing back. I built this whole agency because I want to hand people every secret that I know that I use to grow my brand along with over 100 other brands. This is not a teaser, it's not part that leads to a pitch, anything like that. This is the actual playbook that I'm giving you, piece by piece in each video. In this video, I'm gonna go through 4 different things. 1, how you think like a CEO instead of a marketer when I'm picking products to fight for. Number 2, I'm gonna pull up a real dashboard that I actually use and walk you through exactly how I go layer by layer. Number 3, I'm gonna show you the actual play we run on a real product step by step. And then number 4, I'm gonna show you the pricing method that allows us to find the exact ceiling the market would pay. And so by the end, you'll know exactly how you can 4.5x your brand on Amazon without spending way more money on ads. Every agency that I talked to said the exact same thing. Spend more, add more keywords, turn up the budget. I'm sure you've heard that as well. And I get it, right? Like this is the business model of them. You spend, they manage to spend, they take a cut. Of course, it's the easy way. It's not a strategic way, it's just the easy way. But the way that I'd already built Vita5 from 0 and scaled it is different. So I knew something that they didn't. Money is not necessarily the lever. You've got to reframe it, okay? Stop thinking like a marketer. Everyone thinks like a marketer on this stuff. You've got to think like a CEO when you're first getting started here. The marketer says, how do I sell more of this product? Where the CEO asks, do we even want to fight for this product? Or do we want to go after a different product? So one of the first things I do is I look at my catalog and ask a number of different things. What's working right now? What's actually profitable? What has the biggest market with room to grow? And what's cheap to win? Profitable from day one. To be completely honest with you, most sellers and most agencies skip straight to this question. Let's just pour more money into it. They never even ask if it's worth fighting for. And so they say, oh, you've got opportunity in this product. Let's go ahead and just spend more money. It's a horrible way of doing it. I'm gonna share a little story. I was stuck in the wrong fight for a number of years. I was in melatonin gummies, and you know how melatonin gummies is. Super competitive, it's massive market. Everyone wants to get in it because there's millions and millions and millions of dollars a month. Then the category shifted, right? So our rank started slipping more and more. There was more and more sellers. The price kept sliding. I pulled these category numbers and check it out. I mean, tens of millions of dollars a month. And it sounds amazing until you start counting the number of competitors, over 2,000 sellers, and then a bunch of them are just commoditizing this whole industry, meaning there's no money to be made. And in fact, my dad, he used to say, you do not want to be working so hard uphill backwards in the snow. It's so much easier, just go with the tailwinds. No amount of ad spend fixes a fight like this that you should not be in. So I stopped trying to win this fight that was losing for every agency, for our brand. It was never gonna win. It didn't matter who was in our account, it was never gonna win. And so this is why we turn away brands all the time with the agency that I have right now. Because some products are not gonna work on Amazon. No matter how much money you put in them, no matter what you do, it's too crowded, the margins are too thin, the giants are way too dug in. So the first move that you have to make is not necessarily a better ad. It is finding the product with the biggest upside for the least cost to win, and then checking the profitability before you spend $1. Really not that hard, but you need a real process to find that. So let's pull up the account now. I'll show you exactly how. Get into your account. Now I have this in a different setting. This is a software called SKU here. I'll put a link below so that you can check it out. It makes it super, super easy. But you can go through your data and put this all into an Excel sheet or whatever way you want to do. First thing you want to look at, what is your revenue, conversion rate, orders, daily if you're smarter. Okay, if you're small, as you're growing, look at this on a daily basis. As you start to grow and on a weekly and a monthly basis, you're gonna want to look through this on a week by week and a month by month basis. Okay, and then we're gonna drop down a level and we wanna start looking at this total by campaigns. I like to look at my top 10 campaigns and see what is the spend, what are the sales, what is the ACoS, what's the conversion rate on these specific ones, right? And this is all the 80-20 rule. So the reason why I say, hey, I want to look at this specifically is we can see how much of our spend is in these top ones versus these lower ones. And once you hit campaign 30, it's not even going to be it's not going to be relevant. The next big thing that you want to look through, I'm going to show you on the screen over here, is what are your top products, right? So on this one right here, you've got on this is your revenue, $100,000 a month. On this one, 28, 5, blah, blah, blah. All these down here, $200 a month. Quit worrying about this one. Worry about top to bottom. Sort it revenue, top to bottom. And what we're going to do is we're trying to find the same trends. Are your sales rising? Are your sales dropping? Where is it going? And if so, go ahead and take your top products, the ones that we know that are doing really well, and let's go ahead and go through this and see on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, based on what you're looking for, what is going on. Has your revenue started dropping? Okay, if so, why? Are your impressions going down? Is the spend going down? Is your conversion rate dropping? Is your cost per click going up? What are the factors that are going through here? So you can see all of this stuff by product, which is amazing. And then you can go through and see all of the data within it. If it's not that product, jump to the next product. You're going to continue to go down. You're going to go through these exact same numbers and go through and try to figure it out. Really, when you look at ACoS or ROAS, ACoS the inverse of ROAS, you're looking at two different numbers, right? You've got your price to your product that's stable, and you've got conversion rate and your cost per click. Okay, those are the two factors. If your cost per click rises, your ACoS rises. If your conversion rate drops, it rises. If your conversion rate increases, it starts to drop. So those are the major factors, and you're going to start to look deeper and deeper. Now, the next thing is going even deeper, right? So you're trying to figure out what the issue is, from a CEO level view to a VP level to a director, to then you're like analyzing the depths of all this. Now what you want to go do is go look at the keyword tracking, right? So you don't want to just go spend a bunch of money on Amazon with no end in sight, okay? There's two different ways that I look at this. We're either going to rank on this organically or we're not. And if we're going to rank on this organically, I'm willing to spend more money to get organic. However, if we're not going to rank on this organically, I need to make sure that this is fully profitable. So what we'll do is we'll look at the data here, and we're going through the different products, and we're ranking really well here. We want to start pulling back. So then we start to look through what is our PPC data on this, our ACoS on this, all this. This one right here, super high. We want to start pulling back because we're already ranking number one. We don't need it to be so aggressive. However, on some of these terms right here, let's just take this big one right here that we're gradually trying to get better and better with. What we want to do is we're converting higher, but our click-through rate is not as high. Now we need to look at the main image. Now we need to look at the price point compared to others. And what's so cool with this is we can immediately go in and see. Now, if you've seen a major drop, meaning going from number 1, number 2, number 3, down to number 10, 15, whatever, we want to look and see what ended up happening. Were there competitors in here that were doing certain things? Did they drop their price? Did they go in and do a deal, a coupon, name the other thing that may have happened, which you can see all through here. Now, as we continue to look through all these trends on the account, we're starting to see our cost per clicks rising, is conversion rate dropping? What is going on with the market? You've got to look at this on a daily basis, a weekly basis, and a monthly basis, all from different levels. And what we want to see is your bigger trends are obviously going to come from the monthly basis. And so if you see that cost per clicks are rising in this crowded market, that may become one of your melatonin type products. You may want to slowly start getting out of that. If you're starting to see that there's a bunch of commoditized products, it's maybe somewhere you put more money towards a different product. What we found for ourselves was the fight was collagen gummies, right? It was a big market, real demand, but it wasn't a bloodbath. There was only about 4 competitors when we first launched in there. So one, we launched straight into the top keywords that we knew that we could win on. Cost per clicks were affordable. We dropped our price below every competitor on day one on purpose, by rank, not the margin. You're paying for it either through PPC or through your margin. Number 3, we ended up holding that price for 2 months, watched it raise number 1 on the BSR, and then we didn't even raise price until our rank beat all of our competitors on these things. And then once we actually owned this rank, we slowly raised the pricing and tried to find our price point of equilibrium. And here's where it got even more in depth. So we were tracking every keyword's click-through rate, the conversion in one sheet. I like to use it versus the search query performance data. It tells you if you're better or worse than the market on either click-through rate, conversion rate. If you're better on both, you need to absolutely go for it. If you're way worse on both, pull back. And as we raised the price, we could actually see what it was doing to the rank. So the second the price bump started hurting our position, we started to find our ceiling. And that is our price equilibrium. Now, hopefully we had enough profit in that. For that one, for us, we absolutely did. But most sellers are just guessing on their price. And they're just saying, I want to charge this amount. I mean, I literally was told by someone, I can charge whatever I want. Until I told him to charge 10 times more. And then he's like, well, I guess not whatever I want. Be careful with this. And then once you see the rise in this specific product, you're then going to start doing this for the next product. And then we treat it like a 90-day sprint. This is not a marathon, right? The whole business is a marathon, but these are sprints. No easing in, no protecting margin, no hedging. You're going all in. If you watch someone, Greg Lavecchia from Bloom Nutrition is talking all about this. He goes all in, one channel, super hard, doesn't give up. These steps are literally exactly how I grew my brand 450% in 3 months. Very similar spin in terms of tacos level. We pointed at the right product. It was the right market, priced it to the dollar, backed by the data, drilled down, that never skipped a layer. You got to go over and over and over. 7 agencies missed it because they were never answering the right question. They were going after the marketing side. I won because I was going after the CEO level side. So before you spend another dollar on ads, get a second set of eyes on what you're actually fighting for. Okay. If you want, I've got tools below here. I've got everything. I'm genuinely trying to share with you guys the best things. I'll do free deep dives for people. This is no pitch trap. This is just genuinely trying to help other people win on Amazon. So links in the description. Book a time if you want to, and let's go find your collagen gummy for your specific product. And if this changed the way that you think about scaling, please hit that subscribe button. Always helps, boost our ego a little bit. And I'll break down more and more of these week by week.